Hey, every once in a while, a game comes around and changes your life, whether for better or for worse. For some, that might be Red Dead Redemption 2. For others, it could be Doki Doki Literature Club. Depending on how much of a degenerate you are, it could even be Conception. For me, it was New Carnival. Whether it changed my life for better or worse is up to you to find out after watching this video, but I'll give you a little hint, it was for worse. Welcome back to a straight male's dive into Otome games. This is a series born out of sheer spite towards a single solitary comment that was left in a video I did about a game called Love and Deepspace. I was asked to never play an Otome game ever again, so I went ahead and played 10 of them on stream. Today, we're staring into the abyss. Last time around, we played Mystic Messenger, a game that had me setting up an alarm for 4 AM on my phone so I could take a fictional call from a fictional Korean man that blackmailed me into becoming a party planner for a non-profit organization. I know that at the end of that video I said that the next video in the series would be about feral hearts, but there are 4 things that I am not. The first one is decisive, the second one is forgetful, the third one is... the third one? Oh, right, bad at math. I am aware that some people might be against me denominating this game as an Otome game, to which I reply, I hope that this ruins your day. One last note before we move on to the game is that much like every other game in this series, I accidentally forgot to check each game's description on purpose. That is to say, I played every one of these games without having a single, solitary clue as to what the hell they were about. For this particular game, you will see me be very confused and oftentimes scared of what is going on in the screen. If you know what this game is about, then you know exactly what I mean. This is all to say that unlike with Mystic Messenger, I won't tell you right now what this game is about. I think that much like traversing a minefield in Afghanistan, this experience will be much more enjoyable if we both hold hands and go in blind. As the game downloaded, I held my mouth slightly agape at how high of a quality the cinematic playing in the background had. Yo, this is pretty good. Look at the animation on this. This is amazing. Obviously, most gacha games nowadays do this as a way to grab the player's attention, and also because no one wants to stare at a fucking still image while waiting for several gigabytes of data to download. Considering how much I underestimated the entire genre of mobile Otome games, the animation had me genuinely impressed. It legitimately was on par with bigger and equally degenerate games like Nikke and Blue Archive. It was then that it hit me. Notice anything about that loading image? Most of the guys in it are either wearing clothes that might as well be a latex fucksuit with how tight they are, clothes that reveal their hairless chest or abdominal area, or both. I wouldn't put it past the Otome game genre to make characters like this, but it certainly wasn't a trend in the other 8 games that I played before this one. I don't know what homosexuality smells like, but whatever it is, this smelled like it. I chose not gay as my name just as a precaution, but I guess the game does not really fuck with casual homophobia as it changed my name back to Eden automatically. If I had $1 for every time I started a game and the 6th line of dialogue included the word butt plug, I would have $3 after tax. Sure, I thought it was weird that an Otome game would talk about butt plugs right off the bat, and that lingering sensation that this game might not be what I thought it was remained present, but whatever. I'm sure plenty of straight women wear butt plugs, perhaps even daily, at work or going out for groceries. Me and coworker A talked about some millionaire guy taking out a jeweled butt plug in the middle of an interview or something. Absolute fucking power play, by the way. Turns out that the plug of butts in question was designed by none other than me, and my mom said it was a failure. The reason why this whole conversation came about is because apparently this millionaire managed to get his hands on a rainbow-colored neon gemstone. Looking back on it, I did find it odd that we were 30 seconds into an Otome game, and there wasn't even a single mention of even one woman, but hey, plot building takes many shapes, so let's not rule out heterosexuality just yet. I had a conviction that was the case, but even the toughest of convictions would shake at the sight of what came next. It was requested that I made a neon lamp bejeweled cock ring with a built-in vibrator to be shown for all on a rotating display platform. With this level of depravity, I'm starting to think my client was Diddy. But who am I to judge him? That decision falls to the Manhattan Federal Court. All I know is that I am a master butt plug designer that has been in this field for 4 minutes, and I will get my client what he deserves. Something, death by ejaculation, hey, we've all been there. Anyways, we started to reminisce about how we worked hard and rose above all the other Tumblr users in order to achieve our dream of working at a sex toy company. But at what cost? We've been so busy designing sex toys that we barely have time to date women. Yes, women. Regardless, what's actually important is presenting results. We must understand what we're working with, which is why we have to first figure out all of this neon gemstone nonsense. As beautiful of a stone as this is, it might present a challenge even for me. My suggestion, as the best butt plug designer in this entire fictional universe, is to just take the stone as is and shove the whole thing up in there. But in an unexpected turn of events that no one without eyesight didn't see coming, the possibly gay gemstone teleported us into an entirely different world. You heard that correctly. In the span of only 11 minutes, this game managed to insert an isekai element into a plot about designing jeweled butt plugs for a living. In and of itself, this actually puts this plot above the overwhelming majority of isekai plots that come out nowadays. I woke up in a room that was so sexy that I wouldn't be surprised if someone had already fucked me in the ass while I was asleep. 2 unidentifiable carbon-based life forms showed up. That could be a woman. We still don't know. That... Well, you know, some women have like abs like that. I'm pretty sure like professional wrestlers and like UFC fighters, I think they look like that. That doesn't mean that it's a guy. Yes, I do wholeheartedly believe what I said in the gameplay, and no, I don't think that the massive swollen throbbing bulge in those purple latex pants proved me wrong at all. They talked about how much they missed their master, and how I was summoned to fulfill the role of their new master. Shockingly, one particular word in the following dialogue would change everything for me.
男のケツばっか追いかけてるインキュバスに説教される覚えはありません。
That's right. The demon with righteous abs trying to pass off small latex patches as clothing is a guy. But hey, that only confirms that he is a guy. It doesn't really say anything about the other individual that also looks like a guy, alright? So, but worry not, that wasn't even the worst part. Oh no. It gets much worse.
気を失うまで血吸っとく
What? A wise man once said, all mouths feel the same if you close your eyes. I think Gandhi said that, I'm not quite sure. Clearly, he had never faced such a predicament. Don't get me wrong, I am delighted and flattered with such an offer, but allow me to make you a counter offer. For only $5.99 pre-tax, you have the opportunity to acquire this gorgeous ruby-encrusted butt plug. The little demon slash vampire, boy, and or girl explained how he, she, it, they, us, hypnotizes humans by sucking them off. Funny, humans do the same thing to other humans, but anyway, we reflected on how they're both fine as hell. Like literally, that's what the main character thought. They're both fine as hell. Not just that, we confessed how horny we were feeling after being out of the dating game for so long. Again, this does not indicate homosexuality. That's just what no coochie does to a motherfucker. Convinced that this was all just a wet, oh so very wet dream, we decided that we might as well have some fun and pick up both guys at once. Fuck it. Okay, I'm done with the self-gaslighting. This game is gay. Gay as hell. This game is gayer than having sex with men. This is exactly the type of game that Fujoshis would love. In fact, I'm fairly certain that they are the target audience for this game. To clarify, Fujoshis are women that love to consume BL. Boys love pretty much anything that's between two dudes. From just the lightest, softest, purest kisses to just absolute dick on ass, ass on dick, mouth on dick, just ass to ass, dick to dick, dick to ass connections, you know, everything. The word Fujoshi can be broken down into Fuji and Yoshi. Fuji meaning that big rock in Japan, and Yoshi meaning that tiny green guy that Mario sacrifices in order to make it to the other side of the cliffs. No, but in all seriousness though, Fujoshi is written as rotten and woman. It's funny that you think I'm joking about that. For them, this game must be heaven, which is ironic considering that if it in fact operates the way that Christianity claims that it does, heaven is the one place that this game's target audience is not going to go to. Not that I'm one to talk given the gachas that I play and all of the racial slurs I used to hurl in Call of Duty lobbies back when I was 14. See you in hell, ladies. Anyways, this is not the first time in my life that I've been tricked and toyed with. When I was 6, I went to Walmart with my mom and asked her if we could get the Hot Wheels attacking shark escape track that they had there, to which she replied, "I'll buy it on the way back." She never bought it on the way back. The fiends introduced themselves as Esther and Sharpay. got sad because I didn't recognize them, pointed out that I had the same scent as their master, and we finally get to actually play the game. As with every other gacha game, I got forced to do more of the story, and by the looks of things, this isn't the last thing that I'm gonna have to do forcefully. To be perfectly honest with you, at this point I was extremely surprised that this game had any combat at all, even more so than when I found out that Love and Deepspace had combat. Our mission was to kill one singular solitary slime that probably didn't even know what the fuck was going on and didn't offer any danger to anyone in the first place. I clicked exactly one time and the mission was over. Next up, contracts, which coming from a horny fanboy vampire would usually probably mean that he gets to suck my blood if I suck something of his. But in this game it's just how they refer to the gacha system. Obviously because this is a tutorial and scripted, we got Morve, who apparently is a fire tank. I think you can see why. More tutorial shit, grab the guy, kill the slime, you know the drill. Back to the story, because really that's the only thing that matters. Apparently, there's a possibility that I may be from their master's bloodline. The plot, much like that dude's bulge, has thickened. I'll tell you this right now, the fanboy saying that his master might have conceived some offspring is literally the closest thing to a heterosexual interaction that this game has. I looked away for literally 2 seconds, and the next dialogue line was a little fanboy vampire threatening to suck that other dude dry of blood. Suck him dry of blood. What the hell were you thinking, pervert? Come? Because that's what I was thinking, actually, originally. Regardless, this whole isekai shabacle was starting to get to me. I was visibly tired, perhaps because of the long nights designing butt plugs, perhaps because of the long nights utilizing said butt plugs, or maybe from being summoned to this godforsaken world. As any idiot would know, getting isekai'd messes with your essence. I mean, I feel like that's pretty obvious. Anyone who doesn't know that is just plain stupid or has never been isekai'd. Remember when I said that I got scared a few times during this gameplay? This was the first time. Sorry, but I'm just not used to seeing man whores in latex sticking their tongue out, blushing, and rubbing their abs while looking at me. Then the game just sort of cut to a fight against some slimes? I don't know, I guess it just has to be a challenging game somehow. They're not just gonna hand you the gay sex for free without a fight. More tutorial shit, and now this. This was the second time I got scared playing this. You see, I believe I had good reason to be scared because I'm not particularly fond of the idea of someone telling me it's time to learn about intimacy and proceeding to invite me to walk into a room with a horny demon. Turns out all of my concern was for naught. Intimacy just refers to the act of giving other people gifts, like for example, a bottle of piss, a slutty choker or earring, whatever the fuck that is, some grape Kool-Aid, or a portrait of yourself. Morgue seemed very happy with the gifts that I was giving him, so much so that his clothes just ripped by themselves and he started to tremble and blush. Funny how when he does it, it's considered hot and sexy, but when I do it, I'm a threat to public safety and a repeat offender. Whatever. After giving him 8 of my self-portraits, which I carry around with me all the time like a normal human being, I got told that he was absolutely exploding with fiery passion and got asked if I was ready to fulfill his every desire with those exact words. Still scared, I pressed, okay. Another cutscene starts and we find Morve walking around kind of funny. Fanboy Dracula here seemed pretty pissed at him, to the point where he transformed into a bat and attacked him. We asked what happened, and the answer will not shock you. Turns out that a certain local count's son had his seed sucked dry by an incubus and became an idiot because of it. That's right, the guy got hit so good that he literally became dumb. This man quite literally got sucked stupid. Now that's a big problem. What if it was non-consensual? Regardless, according to the criminal himself, he'll be fine if he just chills and drinks a couple of Gatorades. And no, I don't really think it's a huge problem that the guy is getting married tomorrow. If anything, that just means that his fiancée now has some healthy competition. They discuss how Morve apparently is a serial dick sucker, known and feared all across town, and how it usually falls to Aster to clean up his mess. Hopefully not in the literal sense. Aster grounded Morve as punishment, telling him he wouldn't be allowed to go out of the house for an entire month. I won't lie, I actually felt kinda bad for him. God forbid a man goes out for some midnight dick sucking, I guess. He gets sent to his room by his disappointed mother, and we finally get to the end of the cutscene. You know, considering that I was asked if I was ready to fulfill his every desire, this was actually pretty light. It wasn't even my dick that got sucked. As it wasn't enough, I myself also got grounded because the game just sort of kicked me out and told me to go update. And here I was thinking that unlike every other video where I play a gacha, I wouldn't have to face a several minute wait for an update. In the meantime, I decided to go play a little bit of Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation just to confirm that certain things inside of me remained unchanged. And since I love degeneracy, and degeneracy loves me back, I got an SSR on my first pull of the day, and on my next pull, another SSR. This is what it feels like to be alive, but I'd rather feel dead, which is why I went back to our fun little carnival to try the gacha there. Needless to say, my first 10 pulls didn't give me shit, except the protagonist from Devil May Cry, some guy with a ferret and tight ass white pants, and then Esther, but with a golfing outfit? I don't know. That's it. No SSRs, nothing. I'll say this though. Whereas this game has a 1.5% drop rate for SSRs, Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation has a 5% rate for the same rarity. There's something for you to think about. Anyways, back to the story. We killed more slimes. Apparently those are the only enemies in the game or something, I don't know. Another cutscene starts. Honestly, I find it really weird that there's just a random battle at the beginning of every stage without any sort of context. Like, why were we fighting slimes 10 seconds ago and now we're in this room with excessive amounts of velvet? Regardless, we seemed very tense and embarrassed. Something about our power gay duo getting down to business or something? I won't lie, I was really confused. That's just how the cutscene started. It was him saying he was gonna go for a walk and then saying that they really get down to business. I think there's an implication here that they sucked my bad essence or something, I don't know. Through my cock apparently. With our essence freshly sucked and our sausage freshly warmed, we wander out into the garden, still under the impression that this is just a dream, or that, quote, maybe we died and went to heaven. Honestly, given what we just went through, I'm unsure whether or not we'll even make it to heaven. That's the second time I made that joke in this video. I'm really losing my edge. God damn it. No time to waste though. Some purple horned dogs showed up for some fucking reason, and they're ready to commit hate crimes against the LGTB community. Sucks for them though, because my squad is rock hard and ready to go. These puppies stood no chance. They got their cheeks clapped so hard, even I started blushing. The stage ended without a cutscene. I don't know, it just kind of sent me back to the main screen, which was weird, but whatever. Free quest? Why? I'm not even in jail. That was so terrible. I won't lie to you, I did not expect to see what I saw, but I assure you that I was as scared as I was confused. I won't say anything, but I will leave you with my live reaction. What? Oh, they're touching me in weird places. Oh no, my pants unzipped, and inside the game as well. Oh shit. Throat muscles. Wait. Let me pause the music. I'm hearing some weird ass noises. Shit. How is this on Google Play? This dude is gargling. I'll tell you something though, I have listened to an Azure Lane ASMR CD once and even it wasn't this degenerate. But regardless, it's time to do one final quest before I lose my goddamn mind. We learned that the dogs were just sent to Oblivion and oh, I just realized I wrote Brazil in the script, but I said Oblivion. Whatever, same. Anyways, the dogs turned out to be Esther's pets, Bobo, Pee-Pee, and Momo. Terrible naming sense in my humble opinion. I feel like they looked more like Megatron, Zack, and Cody respectively. Seems like both Morve and Esther cannot stop fucking up. Honestly, compared to sucking a dude's dick while he sleeps on the night before his wedding, I'd say letting dangerous dogs roam free through the house is unforgivable. Anyways, to wrap things up, I just could not accept the idea of leaving this game without getting a single SSR. If it wasn't for the fact that this game, at least to the extent that I played it, is predatory as fuck, and I'm not even talking about Morve. I'm actually talking about resources for the gacha system. It might be because I'm used to games that just hand you hundreds of pulls at the beginning, like Brown Dust, Azure Lane, and Dead or Alive, but I could barely do 2 pulls in this game at that point. Considering that the odds for SSRs are 1.5%, I'd say the pulls here are pretty few and far between, and I'm just not gonna go that far for men in skinny pants. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video on New Carnival. I mean, to be fair, my honest opinion on this game is that it's actually pretty decent just objectively. In terms of art quality, it's pretty good. The live 2D is pretty good. The cinematic at the beginning was pretty damn well made. Honestly, it felt like it was the same quality as Nikkei and Blue Archive. Now obviously I'm not the target audience for this game, far from it, but I would imagine that whoever is the target audience for this game is eating pretty good. If I were to rank this game amongst the 10 games that I played honestly, I feel like this is a pretty solid number 2. I'm not gonna say anything about the rest of the list. That's just gonna, be revealed in each game's video. I just realized I didn't rank Mystic Messenger. I think Mystic Messenger is a solid 4, actually. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you did not enjoy the video, leave a dislike. Follow me on Twitter at UsagiHangyaku, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.